Innately, do you think people are more bad than good or more good than bad? Like, for example, Kendrick on his most recent album, he has a track where the couple is arguing back and forth and they're yelling at each other and they screaming and they toxic, and people are like, yeah, you know, I could relate to that, or I heard that before, I've seen that before. And I was like, that's crazy, because that's actually the first time I've ever heard that in my life.
Yeah. To me, it's an easy question. Now, maybe based off of the choices that you're making, the groups that you're around, you know what I mean, what you're digesting, consuming, you could see it from the other perspective. It could seem like it's more bad people than good people in the world. But in reality, I think it's the other way around.
Most people that watch us are black. Most women that watch us are black. They deal with black guys. Most guys that watch us are black. They deal with black women. A lot of the experiences and dynamics between black women and women are not as healthy as we talk about.
I'm Simeon Pando.
Victoria Monet.
Tank. I'm Melvin Gregg. This is another episode of Nice and Neat.
I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon.
Welcome back to another episode. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon. And this is another episode of the #1 podcast in all of Los Angeles, Nice and Neat. We are back here bringing you guys some hard-hitting stuff, man. This is going to be a good episode. I think this is a good episode because there's been so much evolution of us three as a unit and as individuals, to where our conversation has just shifted a little bit. We talk about things differently, and our conversation may not be as raunchy as it was when we first started. I wouldn't even say we was raunchy when we first started, but in comparison to how we speak now, like Duke is sitting down with his legs crossed, and you know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit different, bit different. Omar, this you inspired this episode actually. So I want you to go ahead and let us know about the inspiration behind this episode for you.
Sure. You know, I think just like any good brand or business, you know, we assess the analytics and we reach out to people for feedback because it's important to us. And as we've been doing that, you know, to be honest, a lot of the word that's been coming back is that, yeah, man, those guys, they're not relatable anymore. You know what I mean? Or they seem too polished up. You know, and as I got to thinking about hearing those remarks about us, aside from not trying to take it personal and just like look at it from the grand scheme of things, I got to thinking, and I came to this conclusion that we are currently in a space that we have worked damn hard to get to. And it's taken a lot of personal self-work, growth, level of understanding, empathy, vulnerability. And we're speaking from that perspective to ask us or to want us to go back to our old self to speak to you so you guys could get entertainment out of the episode or use it to pass along to your friends, the short clips. It would be doing you guys a disservice. It would be doing us a disservice too, because we're not in that place anymore. And I do understand that it's important for us to go back and bring people along, just as we have evolved. But I think it's equally as important to provide a positive example for you guys. I think the world, our culture, has enough examples of what not to do. You guys don't need any more examples of what not to do. What you guys need, what we all need more of, is more examples of what to do right. And that's where I want to focus. That's where I want our show's focus to be. Is it fun to have those nostalgic conversations? Sure. But I think what is more impactful, what's going to resonate with the masses over time more, is us speaking from the perspective of where we're at now. And that's as a more evolved, mature man in society today. So,
Go ahead.
So that's how this episode basically came about. We were talking off camera about just where we're at and how to become better podcasters in this space and how to bring more impactful and fire episodes to the forefront.
Yeah.
And You know, that's just like, those were just the thoughts that were on my mind, because I feel you guys. As someone who is a fan of other shows, you know what I mean, there's certain vibe that you're looking for when you go to the show. And I understand that a lot of young men follow this show and they look to us to talk about particular situations with women. I know that's what you guys are talking about, you know, but I think where we sit at today, when you guys do begin to take that step into the evolution phase of who you are becoming as a man, you guys are going to appreciate us and this show so much more. So that's where we're at.
When people say we're not relatable, is that pretty much code for saying you guys are kind of outgrowing my entertainment capacity? Because I feel like,
I'm not growing with you guys.
or I'm not growing with you guys.
Or I'm not growing with you
Right.
guys, and I prefer where you guys are at.
Because I feel like we are relatable.
Yeah, me too.
In terms of, people really do deal with real life issues like we talking about, right? Things we go through, how we approach relationships, how we deal with our women, the relationship we have with each other. I think it's very relatable. I think what people want is entertainment, though. Right? They're not looking for relatability, they're looking for entertainment,
Shock value.
and arousal, right? And controversy, and things that are gonna like just spike their dopamine.
Yep.
And when you and this is the truth in relationships, in life, when you are in like just healthy, right? You got a healthy outlook, healthy perspective, healthy relationship, healthy body, right? It's boring, right? So sometimes it lacks the spikes and it lacks the variety and all of the things because it's real, right? So I don't want you guys to look at us. Yeah. We're a podcast. We want people to enjoy. We want people to watch and things like that. But more so, when you listen and watch Nice and Neat, you listen and you really learning. You know what I'm saying? You learning before anything. I can't tell you how many guys have come up to me. Y'all be like, man, I've been watching y'all since y'all started. I've learned so much.
Yep.
Right? It's not I've laughed so much. It's not you guys entertain me so much. It's always I've learned so much. So you kind of got to take us for really education.
Yep.
Right? And you got to use our experiences with each other and how we speak about our relationships as something to take from to improve your relationship. So if you're a woman and you're listening to us, like really try to dive it, listen to us and try to figure out how we think, how we articulate. What does a guy think like? What's the thought process of a guy? How should I respect the guy? What should be my dynamic with my future partner or my partner right now? And if you're a man, same thing. So if you look at it from a I want to be entertained perspective, then you won't be entertained. You feel me? It's like if I'm reading a book. I know it's not a book, but if I'm reading a book and I'm trying to be entertained by the book as opposed to learning from the book or extract something from the book,
Here to digest this information.
I'm gonna put the book down.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna put the book. So the platform is not like the issue. It's the reason you're watching that's the issue.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? And I think that goes for anything. I feel like there's a place for education. There's a place for healthy dialogue.
Yep.
There's a place for raunchiness, right? There's a place for ratchetness. There's a place for street talk. There's a place for sports. There's a place for all those things. But I think what happens is we have, and I hate to do the like black thing, but I feel like our idea of entertainment is only one way: controversy, pain, controversy, right? Arguments, debate, right? And I think people like debate so much because it speaks to an emotional point in their spectrum, right? That they get to either agree with or disagree with, right? So they get to get emotional about it. And I think that's the problem, right? But the problem with it is like, yo, nigga, we grown-ups.
We're grown.
You know what I'm saying? We grown-ups and we actually, we're not trying to fabricate the debates for entertainment. We're not trying to fabricate disagreements or arguments and shit like that for entertainment. We adults and we're trying to show y'all, hey, yo, like you could be men and have conversation and sometimes disagree and sometimes agree and talk about women in a respectful way. I think we've gotten to a world right now where everyone is doing everything for clicks.
Yep.
So nothing is truthful.
Yep.
Right? Nothing is honorable because everything is just for metrics, and we're all trying to just like step on each other and come up. It's like, yo, like, where is the authenticity or the genuineness and how you operate, or where's the level of pride you have and how you represent yourself in the world? All right. And I think for me, at least, I try to make sure that, yo, as I'm sitting here speaking to you guys and I'm speaking in front of thousands of people, everyone in my life that loves me is represented. All right. So when my mom watches this, I want her to be proud of what her son is talking about.
Facts.
You know, when my woman watches this, I want her to be proud of what her man is talking about. Right. When my family watches this, I want people to speak highly of me when they go speak to other people in the world. And that's the only way I know to operate. So when niggas be like, oh, y'all not relatable. And personally, I've never heard people say that. But when people say that, I'm just going to assume that, you know, they want controversy and drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Controversy and drama. I think also too, what people gotta understand about our position in this show is, although we are sharing experiences, we are currently in relationships with women that not only do we want to make proud, but I'm not trying to disappoint or embarrass. Okay. I'd be damned if I bruise my woman's ego on the show, right? For the sake of clicks, right? Just to stroke yours. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? There's so much peace that I have in my home that I've created. It's a safe haven for me. And if I get on this show talking reckless about some girls I used to deal with back in the day just for your entertainment, I have to go and live with that reality when I go back home.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? No one else has to live in those shoes. I have to exist and walk in those shoes. So I tread carefully while also trying to divulge the truth as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
But there's also someone that I'm always trying to protect. Like I have my wife's interest, at her best interest at heart at all times. First, not y'all. You know what I mean? So I think it's just important too to understand that about our position, because when you do that too, you'll then view us from a different perspective as well, and I think respect us a little bit more as well.
Yeah.
You guys feel like, in considering other people, family, partner, that you guys are still in the space of telling your truth and telling how you feel?
With my partner?
No, to the audience. Are you still telling your truth and expressing how you really feel?
Oh, yeah.
On the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm being extremely honest. I'm being extremely honest about exactly how I'm feeling, you know, our current position, you know, without sharing too much personal information. I think I'm doing a great job of keeping it honest and being transparent.
Yeah, because I asked, because at the end of the day, this is an outlet for us to be able to express ourselves, and also to be able to be a voice for so many people that can't. You know, how many times do you walk by somebody and it was like, man, if I had a podcast, I would. You know, so we're kind of, you know, speaking for that and being a platform for men that really kind of feel suppressed, you know, due to all of the things that we say that we also are protecting.
Yep.
So I understand exactly what you guys are saying. And I definitely don't want you guys to get to a point of protecting anybody so much that you forget about you and you forget about how something actually truly makes you feel, or even how you could help somebody on the other side of this camera. You know, so that's just what I was thinking about as you guys were referring to protection. It's definitely admirable, and I do think maybe that is what people might feel. They might feel more protection than vulnerability, or they might feel more protection than you actually saying exactly how it is that you feel in that moment. And it's a balance. It's a dance. You know, it's a dance trying to be able to say how you feel and quote unquote get your shit off, but while still being able to have a happy home.
Yeah. I would actually, I think about just other podcasters in this space. And I think about, I can see why it would be difficult to grow when you're talking about relationships while you're in a relationship, right? Because there is a lack of wow factor when you got to protect your relationship. Now, I can see how you can grow and talk about your woman, but it be just all holds bar, because adding your woman to the equation and you talk recklessly, it gives like people something to reference. So people want to be engaged more. I get that part. But it's actually interesting because I really don't see too many podcasters like us, at least 3 young black dudes in relationships, and their podcast is doing like well, right? Or the show is doing well. And it's because when you have respect for your partner, you do got to have some type of decorum in how you moving. That's just what it is, right? If you don't do that, then two things are happening. Either like you're crushing your relationship, and like save it with the, your woman's supposed to get it. Nah, that's not necessarily true. So you do have to be careful about what you're saying. All right, somebody came up to me one time. I was in Atlanta, and dude come up to me. He said, "Yo, I love the show, but I just feel like sometimes like you be holding your tongue and you don't be like, you be just conscious of like, you know what your woman thinks." And I was thinking, I was just like, yeah, like you should be. I asked him, I said, "You have a woman?" He was like, "Nah."
Okay.
Single people's opinions don't matter.
Right? Real.
Yeah.
So there you go. So it's like, hey, when you get to a point where you consider someone, hey, this is the person that you want to commit to and be with, it's your responsibility to make sure that you protect that person's image, you protect that person's emotions, and you just represent yourself. Like you're an extension of her. Okay? And the worst thing you could do, I don't say the worst thing, but one of the stupidest things you could do is to do something that's gonna paint your woman in a bad light, even though you know it's gonna do it, right? So painting your woman in a bad light, you do something you know it's gonna paint your woman in a bad light, and you do it anyway. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Right? That's dumb, because now you not only messing with yourself, you messing with her. And I just think that I don't think I'm willing to, like, to me it's not a fair trade-off. Nah, to me it's not a fair trade-off. So yes, am I open? Yeah, I'm open. Am I just gonna go balls to the wall, all out? I'm gonna blitz your ass with all this information about? No, I'm not gonna do that, because that's, first of all, that's not nice and neat.
It's not the brand.
Let's get that straight. That's not nice and neat.
So there's a line to openness.
I think it's how you express it.
Okay, because I want to bring something to you guys. A few years back, Aisha Curry was on Red Table Talk, right? And when she was on Red Table Talk, she was being vulnerable, and while she was on the show, she expressed that her husband, Steph Curry, gets a lot of attention, and she just kind of wishes that she could get some attention from men. Vulnerable moment, right? Personally, I felt like though that is kind of exactly what you guys are talking about. It's just it was a little bit too much of expression, right? I don't want to take anything away from the feeling that she had. I think the feeling can be very real. Dating someone, being married to a superstar who doesn't even care to have the spotlight, but he's in the spotlight and he has it. And women are throwing themselves at him left and right, and you are his partner. I could understand the feeling. I feel like the platform that she went on to express the feeling was really where the issue lived with me.
Same.
And as you guys are saying this, I feel like that got so many views because of the wow factor. I don't know what hit their relationship took.
No one does.
No one does.
And
but we know it did, though.
And that's the part. Nobody cares about your relationship.
Right.
So it's your job.
Entertainment.
That's it.
That's it.
It's your job to care about your relationship.
Right. So people are saying, no, great, give us more.
Yeah.
Of course.
Give us more, because it gives us something to talk about.
Yep. You finally let us in.
But no one knows.
Finally let us in.
You finally let us in.
And here's what they were saying, right? Because y'all remember that, right? And a lot of the conversation was, well, if her husband doesn't have a problem, then why do you guys have a problem?
We don't know if he didn't have a problem.
But we don't know if he doesn't have we don't know what type.
Stephen Curry, he can't come out and talk about that.
And not only that,
We don't know.
he's doing what we saying that he should do. He's protecting his house.
That part.
He doesn't need to come out and say, I really hated
That's the
but
tough
we're
part about
working
being a
through
man.
it.
Yep.
He's protecting his house. I actually need to show that I'm loving on my wife harder.
Even though she did something I just don't agree with.
I'm not gonna let y'all know that, though.
But y'all gonna take that and think that I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
When
I don't know,
When I'm just holding up my end of the ball.
you know, now when he's in private and he's having cigars with his friends, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like she could have had that conversation, not only with him, but she could have had that conversation with her homegirls and
Just not out the red table talk.
and just not.
Just
Not the platform
She
don't
could
matter
even have
to
it with
me.
Jada. Just not
Yeah.
on camera.
Yeah.
Just, the platform don't matter. It's just the fact that she said it in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing is considering who your husband is,
It's different.
right? Considering who your husband is. Like, hey, yo, like, you owe it to him to be a positive representation
Right.
or care about how things are coming off, right? Because it seemed like it was something that really just like slipped, or she's just like, you know, that she could look back and be like, I wouldn't say that again if I was on the show. You know, and if you could go back and look and say, nah, I would never say that again, then like, yeah, she never said it.
So I think that's the thing that makes things difficult. We have a podcast that is, at the end of the day, podcast is entertainment, right? And when I say entertainment, whether your value of entertainment comes from learning, whether your value of entertainment comes from a wow or a shock factor, we are entertainment for people. In that, right, you don't ever want to just be bland. You don't ever want to not give people the things, because I feel like similar to us when we grew up, we became adults and life smacked us in the face because you're just like, why didn't adults tell us that these were things that we would deal with? And I feel like a lot of times adults don't tell you about the things that you're going to deal with because they're protecting other adults. Whether they're protecting themselves, whether they're protecting their partner, your father, your mother, whoever they're trying to protect. They're trying to protect somebody, so they're not saying the ugliness or what the other side of the coin would look like. In that, how are we able to articulate what the other side of the coin looks like and still protect? Because I still do think that we have a service and a duty to continue to give people raw information and raw acts that we have experienced without it being a detriment to our household. Where is the honesty in being able to present that information, you know, while still being able to protect? Like, can you protect and be completely honest?
Can you protect and be completely honest? No. No. You can't. No one's completely honest on with the cameras rolling. Everyone leaves out something they want to leave out for whatever reason. No one's completely honest, completely vulnerable and completely honest, or protect and completely honest. Nah, because I would never tell the camera or the like the our what our biggest argument was about.
Yeah.
I would never talk about that. I would never say what I said or she said. But here's the honesty. Hey, here's how we had an argument. Right? The honesty is, hey, we're not perfect. We argue. And we didn't speak for a little bit. Right?
I said some things that I probably shouldn't have said.
Yeah, I'm not happy about the way I handled that. That's the transparency.
Facts.
You feel me? That's the transparency. That's the extent of honesty. And that's being honest and transparent, but also protecting my relationship. Because yeah, we know our women, but there may be some things that, I may be comfortable talking about that she's not.
Yeah. Yep.
You feel me? So if there's anything that kind of straddles that line, I just won't talk about it. Because I'm not going to go home and she's going to be like, yo, what was this about? We didn't discuss this.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing that with y'all.
I didn't ask you, okay, what's the biggest thing you guys struggle with in your relationship? Oh, it was this health problem that we was dealing with. Oh, okay, what health problem? It was X. No.
Yeah.
Nah, you guys just know we was dealing with something.
Yep.
So like, nah. Anyone that says they're 100% honest, nah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I agree with you. I agree with you. It makes me feel like we're just in the space of evolution from when our parents would just tell us marriage is difficult. It's really difficult. And I feel like that was their way of doing what we're doing now. Yeah. And I would love to be able to just give a little bit more than that was. And that's all we could really ask for, because at the end of the day, we are victims of evolution as well. Because I'm sure it's going to be some guys who are in similar situations that we're in 20 plus years, and they're going to be able to divulge information without it being as taboo, because the world will be more open in that space. We have the internet. So we actually could now just Google, like, hey, how do I handle this in my relationship? And something could pop up in a forum from somebody who dealt with that can do that. Our parents didn't have the ability to do that. So them giving information on marriage is tough was a lot. That was a lot back then. And I feel like we give a lot now. I feel like we give a lot without giving too much, still providing the safety for our partners. And I'm asking the question because as people are listening, I know you want more. You always want more. If you're studying for the test and you could get the answers, you would say, yeah, give me the answers. You wouldn't just want to just study. If you could look and somebody say, hey, yo, the first answer is A, second answer is B. And ultimately, I feel like that's why we want more, because we always just want the answers. Just give me the answers. Yeah, you guys were struggling in your relationship, but with what? Because I need to know specifically what you were struggling with in your relationship. And then how did you get through it?
Yeah.
And then what did you do? But how did it make you feel? And everybody want to know the answers, because I don't want to do the work myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to be like, okay, relationships are hard. I do know that. I understand that. That's enough for me.
It's funny because even getting the answers, you still got to do the work.
Yeah.
You can take the answers, right? But and have the answers to the test, but still not do well on the test because you haven't been through those experiences before. So you could take the same answers that Duke said, that he said everything he did to Chanel. That should not work on your woman, because y'all haven't been through the same ups and downs that him and Chanel been through. You guys haven't had the same level of communication. You guys haven't talked about what makes you, what ticks, and all of those things. So giving the answers, it ain't gonna help. I mean, it may feel like it's helping you in the moment, but when you really apply it to your situation, you realize you're gonna need a lot more work than just those answers that you received.
All right, y'all. So listen, really quick. I have something to talk about really quick. Yo, so I'll be at the house, right? And I know I'm in my grown era because I'll be walking around the house in robes.
You be wearing robes in the house?
I be wearing robes?
I be wearing robes in the house.
Y'all be in robes?
Oh, yes. My morning
You
routine
doing
is
robes?
done in a robe.
I need one.
You don't
need a
want
robe?
I need a robe. I don't have a robe.
Oh, man.
Okay. Does you and Brittany have? Okay, you don't have a robe. You got a robe?
I got a robe.
Okay. Is it matching with? You got matching ones with Candace?
They not matching.
Okay. Well, Candace need a new one.
Okay. Okay.
So Candace new. So let me tell you about this company right here. Okay. So reach peak tranquility in the comfort of your own home with the Serene Robe Collection. All right. Serene Robe Collection.
Serene.
Now, this robe is crafted from premium waffle fabric. Well, what is waffle fabric?
I've never heard of it.
Okay, what is waffle fabric? I don't know, but it sounds waffly. All right. But check this out. In line with smooth satin, the Serene Serenity robe offers sustainable comfort and durability. We love comfort. We love durability. It's available in a variety of sizes, inclusive for mommies to be, right? That's pregnant women. Okay. Petites, That's small women. Curvy and tall individuals as well, ensuring a perfect fit for everyone. All right, so it's very, very rangy. Because Serene Serenity values their customers immensely, check this out. For every purchase of the Serene robe, you'll receive an entire suite of complimentary gifts. All right, so there's a bonus.
Wow.
From a luxurious silk eye mask, we were just talking about that, to 2 embroidered socks and our Volume 1 affirmation deck. All right, it's the whole package.
How about value on value on
The
value?
whole package. Elevate your self-care routine today exclusively at sereneserenity.co. Okay, you can also join the Serene Serenity community on Instagram and YouTube at Serene Serenity Co.
I need a robe.
I need a robe. Do they make robes for men?
What color robes would y'all pick?
I like black.
Black robe.
Or black or gray. Or navy, actually. At the house, I like navy.
Why navy?
I don't know. It's like it's not black. It's like dark, but it's color.
We got to get back to the show. Let's get back to the show.
Oh, let's get back to the show.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
get back
okay,
to the show.
okay.
We were talking about why people have that outlook, right? And oh yes, you said people want more answers.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying, right? You were saying people want more answers, and people just want more, and they don't want to. They're being lazy, and they don't want to kind of do the work to just hear what we have at the surface level, and then go do more to gain more understanding. They just want everything thrown at them and spoon fed to them, so they don't have to do no more work, right? And I disagree. I think people are just nosy. I think people just want to know more, just to be in people's business, right?
To do the work.
Right, not to do the work. I just think people
That's
are.
not even a thought.
I just think
wanna
people.
know what the fuck
I
they
just-
doing over
I just
there.
think people are nosy, right? They just want to know what's going on, like behind the scenes, right? Because you can watch somebody all day long, but if you don't really know the inner workings of the relationship, you still just only know them as at face value. But everyone's deeper side is much more entertaining because it's a more intimate side, right? It's a more, it's a less polished side, and usually there's more controversy and drama and things like that when you kind of could just relax a little bit and just give them the whole thing. And I think people, that part of it is entertaining, and I think another part of it, people want things that they could dissect, and things that, okay, I know this thing about you, so if I ever feel a certain type of way, I could always like use this against you. I think people like just want to be nosy like that, and I feel like that's why people feel like, yeah, they're not relatable no more, and because also you got to think about most people's experiences. Most people that watch us are black.
Yep.
Most women that watch us are black. They deal with black guys. Most guys that watch us are black. They deal with black women. A lot of the experiences and dynamics between black women and women are not as healthy as we talk about.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel like that?
That was hot. That was a real hot take that you slipped in.
Yeah. Are not as healthy as the things we're talking about. I think a lot of people don't really have the examples growing up. Most of it's the cycle of drama and the cycle of entertainment, it just continues to perpetuate toxic behavior, toxic relationships. The most entertaining movies are movies where the guy's cheating on a woman, right? Or things like that. Like the love movies aren't the highest grossing movies, aren't the most talked about movies. So it's easier to sell pain. It's easier like to sell people and speak to just like their negative experiences, because negativity and pain moves you more.
Misery,
It gets a reaction out of you more. All right. So we've been conditioned like that.
Some people may have been conditioned like that. I think the thing for me that was the most interesting thing to learn in life was that me growing up around healthy relationships and being around people who spoke about relationships in a positive light wasn't the norm. That was very normal for me. I didn't understand bad relationships like that. So truth be told, and me not getting the sight of bad relationships, it almost kind of left me expecting good relationships. So I guess I didn't really need the equipment on how to navigate bad relationships. I wish I had more tools. Let me not even say tools, more preparation in understanding that there can be turbulence in relationships. I think the relationships that I seen were so polished and so healthy that I didn't even know that there were turbulent times.
Yeah.
It was just kind of, we're good today, and then it's just like, oh, you know what? 20 years down the line, and it's like, man, they're getting a divorce. I thought that was good.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. I never seen, like, for example, Kendrick on his most recent album, he has a track where the couple is arguing back and forth, and they're yelling at each other, and they screaming and they toxic, and people were like, yeah, you know, I could relate to that, or I heard that before, I've seen that before, and I was like, that's crazy, because that's actually the first time I've ever heard that in my life.
Yeah. Same.
And I was just like, bruh, there's nothing about that that's normal to me. I actually, every time it comes on, I skip it, because it's a lot for me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, people walking around in relationships, loving each other and saying they love each other and respecting each other, and they speaking to each other like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I could see how I could catch myself in a position where it's just like, oh, I just can't relate to that. And I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
I just can't relate to that, right? And I feel like people can relate to the pain. People can relate to things that are toxic like that, and that's not my world. That's not my space. I don't understand anything about that, actually. You know, I don't ever want to get to a point to where I have to ever call my girl anything outside of babe when I'm mad at her.
Man.
Yeah.
So when we are coming to the space now of being in, you know, working toward the most healthiest version of your relationship, and I say it's a daily thing. And people just like, oh, I can't relate to that. I feel like people should challenge themselves to be able to relate to that. Because just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Or just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean that you can't take something from this. And in that, it actually kind of breaks my heart to hear people say that they can't relate to healthy relationships, healthy things, to steadiness, to a steady incline of growth towards something. You know, I know it's probably difficult to relate to somebody who goes to the gym 4 days a week and has 5 healthy meals a week, but that guy is the guy who you aspire to be.
But you can't relate to that. Let's just be honest. Like, it just, you don't want to see that. Just be honest with yourself. Just say, hey, that's not what I want to see from y'all. Don't say y'all not
relate
relatable.
to it. Yes.
Don't say y'all not relatable.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we are.
For sure.
Just be honest with yourself. Just say, hey, right now this is not feeding your appetite how you thought it would.
Now you the problem.
Yeah.
You feel me? When you look at it like that, it was just like, I don't want to see that. You have to acknowledge that, okay, you the problem. And the things that you find entertaining are the things that's shaping your life. So now when you look at your life and someone asks you, okay, well, what have you been digesting? And you have to say, well, I've been digesting this, and someone looks at your life and they can find a connection. That could be a real embarrassing moment. Okay, cool. Oh, you have problems in a relationship, or you have problems meeting friends, or you have problems being faithful, or you have problems respecting women. Okay, well, what are you digesting? What music are you listening to? What podcast are you listening to? Yep. Are you being intentional when you're doing these things? Nah, come on, man, I'm tired. I've been working all day. I just want to unwind. Okay, cool. So then it's not the thing. It's just it's what you like you said, like what your appetite is.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying that, like, your appetite a lot of times is your appetite is because how you've been conditioned. You get what I'm saying? It's like the food that's been in front of you your whole life, you're gonna eat. Yeah. You know? And for us, we kind of be seeing the same food, eating the same food all our life. So it's harder. Yeah, I don't relate to this. Yeah, of course, because what you been eating your whole life, you know. And again, like pain drives us. We wanna like see pain. We want to see people arguing. We want to see rap beef. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the controversies and scandals and stuff like that. Those are the things we talk about the most, right? Because as much as we see it and we've been conditioned, it's still, those are the things that like visually or from the optics are out of the norm. Peace is normal to a lot of people, even though here's the thing, most people don't
have it.
Most people don't have it, but it's assumed to be normal for most people. All right. So when things are not peaceful, that's not normal. Let's talk about that. All right. That's why I can say hi to you every day and smile in your face, and you'll smile back and say hi, but you will never ever tell that, hey, yo, dude, smile on my face. I really enjoyed that. Right. But the minute I frown in your face and I don't speak to you, you may talk to him about it because that's out of line. That's how it is. You know what I mean? So,
Bad always gonna outweigh the good.
always.
Yeah.
Always.
Question for you guys. Just a like a fundamental question on how you maneuver through life. I have for you guys. Do you think people are more bad than good or more good than bad?
Good and bad.
Same. More good than bad.
So I ask you guys that because whether the first one is true or not, that shapes the way that you guys view the world. So you already have a predisposed, when you just like, I can't really make up my mind on this person or not. You guys already operate in a space of, let me just give this person this grace.
Yeah.
Let me get this person's benefit of the doubt. When you operate in a space of people are more bad than good, you don't really hand out the benefit of the doubt. And it's a very, very, you lack peace when you have to think about what other people are doing all the time. And I always have this conversation with people because it's interesting to just understand the way people think about the way they process a situation. So if me and O get into it or me and Duke get into it, and I can't quite put my finger on a situation, but I already view situations as people are more bad than good, you're wrong to me. I didn't even give you the chance because my natural standstill thought process is people are more bad than good. And that's really, I want people to sit down and I want you guys to think, like, when you look at the scope of the world, do you look at people as more good than bad or more bad than good? And it will tell you a lot about the level of peace that you possess in your life.
I'm always reminded about that when I look at our comments. I look at our comments and let's just say we have a very, very dope topic. I look at the comments and there will be so much positive feedback. But then it'll be one comment that'll be like, just saying some negative shit. And for some reason, I'm always like drawn towards that one. And like, I'll even like write up a response. And I'll be like, bro, I didn't respond to none of the good stuff.
I scroll right past all that good stuff.
So I got to
bad
delete. And then I'm like, it's actually way more positive shit on here than it is negative. So I'm always reminded about that. So like, to me, it's an easy question. Now, maybe based off of the choices that you're making, the groups that you're around, you know what I mean? What you're digesting, consuming, you could see it from the other perspective. It could seem like it's more bad people than good people in the world. But in reality, I think it's the other way around.
I do too. I think it's more. You gotta do, even on your way to doing bad, you gotta do good things.
Yeah.
Facts.
I feel like if I feel like most people. Okay. Also, we got what constitutes goodness, but I'll just be at the very basic level. I think if most people fell down in front of your face, most people will help pick you up.
Yep.
I think if you fell down in front of most people's face, in front of most people's faces, most people reach their hand to help you back up.
They ain't gonna Allen Iverson you.
Most people will not. I think so.
I feel like, to take it even a step further, I feel like if you drop $100 out your wallet, most people will be like, "Hey, you dropped this bread."
I thought about that before.
Most people.
I think so.
And it's close.
Depending on where you at.
It might be
close.
Might be
close.
at 51.49.
It's close.
You know?
It's close. Hey,
Yeah.
but majority
Yo,
though.
hey,
But majority though.
Let's call it $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
$100. You
100
got,
is a little extra. Hey, I don't know about that. But
God damn.
internet can get paid. Now,
God
so I think if most people see who drops it, that's different. Now, if I
I just
find
see
it,
it-
I'm not looking for who own it.
No.
That's a blessing.
God did. That's a fact.
That's real.
Yo, fellas, man, what we got? You good?
I'm good, man. We on the road to 100 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. So for all those viewing out there, continue to tap in, subscribe to the channel. We got some good things coming up this summer. And don't want y'all to miss out on it. And I want y'all to be able to catch it wherever we release it at. So if you missed it on Instagram, you're able to catch it on the show. If you missed it on the show, you're able to catch it on the pod. All of those things. But yeah, we chasing that plaque, man. We chasing some hardware. You know what I mean? The boys trying to get some hardware and get on the board. So help us get to that 100, man, and continue consuming, digesting these dope episodes.
Brothers. Okay. Y'all, appreciate y'all for tapping in and watching and just listening to us. We just got so much gratitude, man. So thank you. Be sure to subscribe to us on all streaming platforms. Follow us on all social media platforms. And just stay tapped in, man. Let us know which part of the episode you enjoyed. Leave some feedback. Drop a comment. And share with a friend, all right? Because we want to grow. Much love, much gratitude. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon. This is another episode of Nice and Neat, and that's that on that. Peace.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old and I don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance.